So students, today we are going to see 11th science standard chapter optics. Optics means प्रकाशशास्त्र. या चॅप्टरमध्ये आपल्याला प्रकाशाचा अभ्यास करायचा आहे. In that first is the nature of the light. It is a form of energy that propagates in the presence or absence of a medium. That means light can be travel in the medium or without the medium. This is the nature of the light. At the beginning of the 20th century, it was proved that these are the electromagnetic waves. In the 20th century, the light is traveling or propagating in the form of the electromagnetic waves. Later on, particle nature of the light was established. According to this particle nature of the light, energy carrier particles are the photons. Photons are the energy carrier particles. That means light has a dual nature. First is the wave nature and second is the particle nature. In wave nature means light is propagating in the form of the wave, or particle nature means the light is propagating in the form of the particles, and in this photons are the energy carrier particles. The ratio n is equal to c divided by phi is called the absolute refractive index, and it is the property of the medium. The n is the refractive index of the medium, c is the velocity of the light in vacuum, and phi is the velocity of the light in a given medium. The standard value of the c, that is velocity of the light in the vacuum, is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. That means light travels in the vacuum with the speed 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Next, light can be divided into three categories: ray optics, wave optics, and the particle nature of the light. In ray optics, we should know a ray of light, a particular direction of propagation of energy from a source of light is called a ray of light. Ray of light means Surya Kiran. Particular direction of propagation of energy from a source of light is called a ray of light. We use ray optics to understand the phenomena like a reflection. That means when the rays incident on a plane surface or any other surface, they reflects back. This phenomena is known as the reflection. Then ray optics is used to understand the phenomena refraction. That means rays passes through the glass, that is the refraction, and the total internal reflection. All these phenomena we are going to study in this chapter. Then next category is wave optics. For explaining phenomena like interference, diffraction, polarization, etc., this wave optics is useful. All these phenomena, interference, diffraction, and polarization, are detailed in the 12th science. So we consider the light energy to be in the form of the electromagnetic waves for this phenomena, or to explain this phenomena. Then next category is particle nature of light. Phenomena like photoelectric effect, Compton effect, etc., are explained by particle nature of the light. This photoelectric effect and Compton effect, these phenomena are explained in detail in 12th science. So these three phenomena, interference, diffraction, polarization, photoelectric effect, Compton effect, these phenomena are explained in detail in the 12th science. So we will study at that time in detail. Then next is ray optics or geometrical optics. It is based on the four fundamental laws. First is light travels in a straight line in a homogeneous or isotropic medium. Light travels in a straight line. We all know that the light travels in a straight line. We see that a light coming from the window, this light is in the form of the straight line. Homogeneous medium means the properties of the mediums are same everywhere in the medium, and isotropic means that the properties are the same in all direction. Then two or more rays can intersect at a point without affecting their paths beyond the point. That means if this is the one ray and this is the another ray, that means these two rays are intersecting at this point, but this does not affect their path. They go a straight line with their original paths beyond that point. Then next is laws of reflection. Reflection means paravartan. When the incident rays, or when the ray of light incident on a plane surface, then these rays are reflected back into the same medium. This is called as a reflection. In that, reflected ray, incident ray and the normal lies in a same plane. Suppose this is the plane surface, this is the normal to the surface, and the light ray is incident on this plane surface and it reflects back into the same medium. That means this is called as a reflected ray, this is called as an incident ray, and this is the normal. Then the first law of reflection is reflected ray, incident ray and normal lies in a same plane. Reflected ray and incident ray are on the either side of the normal. That means if incident ray is one side of the normal, then the reflected ray is on the other side of the normal. Angle of incidence and angle of reflection are equal. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal is called as the angle of incidence, and angle made by the reflected ray with the normal is called as angle of reflection. Both these angles are equal. Next is laws of refraction. Refraction means, suppose this is the interface between the, here is air and here suppose this is the water. Next is laws of refraction. Refraction means, suppose this is the interface between the air medium and the water medium. If this is the normal to the interface, this is the incident ray, and this incident ray travels from air medium to water medium. This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of refraction. This is called as a refraction. That means a ray of light travels from one medium to another medium. Then when it enters into the another medium, that means in water medium, it deviates from its original path. It deviates from its original path. In that, this is the incident ray, this is the normal, and this is the refracted ray. Laws of reflection, in that the refracted ray, incident ray and normal lies in the same plane. Then incident ray and refracted ray lies on the either side of a normal. That means if incident ray is on the one side of the normal, then refracted ray is on the other side of the normal. Angle of incidence θ1 and angle of refraction θ2 are related by the Snell's law. Snell's law says that n1 sin θ1 is equal to n2 sin θ2, where n1 is the refractive index of the medium 1 and n2 is the refractive index of the medium 2. Next is the example, that is thickness of a glass of a spectacle is 2 mm and refractive index of its glass is 1.5. Calculate the time taken by the light to cross this thickness. Express your answer with most convenient prefix attached to the unit second. Speed of the light in vacuum, we know that c is equal to 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Then here given quantities are the refractive index of glass is 1.5. Refractive index is denoted by the n and the refractive index is of the glass. Therefore, it can be denoted by n glass is equal to 1.5. We know the formula, that is n is equal to c divided by phi. Then speed of the light in the glass is equal to phi glass is equal to c divided by n glass. This equation is rearranged in this form. C, the value of the C is 3 into 10 raised to 8 divided by value of the refractive index of the glass is 1.5. If we solve this, we will get the answer 2 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Distance to be traveled is equal to 2 millimeter. This is the given quantity, that is the thickness of the glass spectacle is 2 millimeter. So we want to calculate a time taken by the ray of light to travel the thickness of the glass. That means distance to be traveled is 2 millimeter is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Time required to travel, t is given by time is equal to distance upon velocity, or velocity is equal to distance upon time. So time is equal to distance divided by velocity. Distance is 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter and velocity is 2 into 10 raised to 8. If we solve this, we will get answer 10 raised to minus 11. Then if we solve this, 10 raised to minus 9 into 10 raised to minus 2, that means 10 raised to minus 9 is a nanosecond. Therefore time taken by the ray of light to cross this distance is 10 raised to minus 2 nanosecond. Next point is Cartesian sign convention. All the distances are measured from the optical center or the pole. Before that, we should know, suppose this is the lens. Geometrical center of the lens is called as the optical center, and geometrical center of the mirror is called as the pole. This is the principal axis. If we kept an object here and we draw a ray parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it will pass through the focus, and another ray passing through the optical center, then here we will get a image. Okay, so the first sign convention is that all the distances are measured from the optical center or the pole. If we want to measure object distance, if we want to measure image distance or object size or image size, all these distances are measured from the optical center or pole. Then next sign convention is that figure should be drawn in such a way that the incident rays travel from left to right. That means these incident rays are traveling from the left to right. Next sign convention is that a diverging beam of light corresponds to a rays of light coming from the real point object. That means suppose this is the point object and the rays emitting from this point object are in that manner. That means these rays are diverging. That means this diverging beam of light corresponds to a ray of light coming from the real point object, and converging beam light corresponds to rays of light directed to a image, and parallel beam corresponds to an object at infinity. If the rays are converging, एकत्र येणे, suppose these rays are converging, then this converging beam of light corresponds to rays of light directed to a image, and if the rays are parallel, then this corresponds to an object at infinity. Next sign convention is that x-axis can be conveniently chosen as the principal axis with origin at the pole. The distances to the left of the pole are negative and those to the right of the pole are the positive. We know that here this is 1, 2, 3, here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, here 1, 2, 3, here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. From that, distances to the left of the pole are negative and right of the pole are positive. Distances above the principal axis are positive while those below it are negative. Then next point is a reflection from a plane surface. If the object is In front of a plane reflecting surface, the image is virtual and laterally inverted. Virtual means आभासी and laterally inverted means अंशतः उलट झालेली दिसते. Images of the same size as that of the object and the same distance as that of the object. Images of the same size as at that of the object and same distance as that of the object, but on the other side of the reflecting surface. This image is formed on the other side of the reflecting surface. If we are standing on the bank of a water and look for our image formed by the water, the image is laterally reversed of the same size and on the other side. Then, if an object is kept between two plane mirrors inclined at an angle theta, number of images n are formed due to multiple reflections from both the mirrors. Exact number of images depends upon the angle between the mirrors where the exactly object is kept. That means number of images formed is given by 360 divided by theta. If n be the number of images seen, then there are conditions, that is, if n is an even integer, then capital N is equal to n minus 1 irrespective of where the object is. Then second condition is that if n is an odd integer and object is exactly on the angle bisector, then capital N is equal to n minus 1. If third condition is that if n is an odd integer and object is of the angle bisector, then number of images seen is equal to small n. And if n is not an integer, capital N is equal to m, where m is the interior part of the n.